What's going on, fellas? So this is my 2019 buck. So I just got it back yesterday afternoon, and you might be wondering, like, what is this thing sinking? What is this thing soaking in? If I could ever get it out, but it's freaking mass on this guy is ridiculous. I think he's bigger around than the other buck that I shot. But what we're doing today is we've got it soaking, and it's a different way of bleaching the skull. Generally, you have like a volume 40 salon mix with peroxide, and you put it on there, let it dry, and clean it up. You can do it that way. We've been kind of just checking out a different way of doing it. And this is a 50-50 mix of hydrogen peroxide and water. Just got it in a tote, and it's going to sit there probably a day, maybe 2 days. And you just basically, the longer you let it sit in there, the whiter that it will get. You just want to make sure you don't get it on any of your horn or anything there, because it'll take the color out, as I learned a little bit with the wife's buck. So what we're doing, I guess I can get a little bit of the glare off there. It's a little bit whiter. There's a bunch of little bubbles on it there. But so what we're going to do with this section up here is you get a rag that's soaked, and I saw a friend of mine on the good old Facebook was doing it, and he takes a soaked rag of peroxide and lays it on there. You want to keep it away from, up underneath here, and that will just do the same exact thing, but a little bit more of a controlled environment instead of just being on the water. So I got it propped up a little bit in the back of the stick, that way so it's leaning forward, because you want to make sure that, as you can see there, you don't want the water touching those horns, because it's got the peroxide in it, and it will take the color out of your horns. Show you a little bit there. Just like that. So I sent my buck off to a friend of mine. It's got beetles, and I'm pretty impressed. I mean, it comes back spick and span clean. Little no hassle. I mean, I've got everything to boil because I did my LCAT. I'll show you my LCAT in just a minute, but I'm impressed. It does take a little bit, obviously with the demand and everything, but it comes out pretty clean. So I want to do a comparison of the peroxide and then do the hair bleach style where you paint it on and cover it. I'll be interested to see in the differences. My wife did her buck, and I'd say it's pretty white. I was pretty impressed with it. So we'll go over here to my elk. It's a little bit of a different color. Now I don't know if it's because this bowl, I boiled it myself, pressure washed it and did all that good stuff. But I don't know. JC's deer did it the same. When I boiled it, the head and put it in there. So I don't know if it's something that the beetles get more off on the skull, or if it reacts differently. I'd be interested. But you can hear all the bubbles. Let's see if you can see kind of a line. Not yet. But yeah, like I said, it took about 2 days, and I was like waiting for it to be kind of immediate. But you can kind of see it now. It's not bad. It's definitely gotten whiter. It was more of a natural looking type of thing. So let's talk about what we used. It's just a 50-50 mix, hydrogen peroxide and water. Get just a tub to put it in, a bucket, anything you can do it. Try and get the head flat. You want the head flat so you're not, if it's at an angle, you got to use a lot more substance and water and peroxide. So for this elk, we got 10 98-cent jugs of peroxide. They're 32 ounces. So what I just did is I put the solution in. Folgers can's 51 ounces. So 3 jugs equals, roughly, it's not exact math, because you have 96 ounces of peroxide with 3, and then you'll have 102 ounces of water, because this is a 51 ounce. So that's what I just did my ratio as. So I did 10, which would be 3 of those jugs plus a little bit more. But you can see there's a lot of bubbles, a lot of reaction going on. My educated guess would be because the beetles were in that one and the beetles were not in this one. Maybe it's a whole degreasing aspect. There are some in here. But so this was five jugs of peroxide, and the elk was 10. So if you do the math, 98 cents, you're like $5-6 for being able to bleach this. Elk is around $10. And I guess if you really wanted to get technical, you do the price of propane. I mean, my 3 to 5 gallons of propane I've done 4 heads with it, so it's really not a bad value. So that's how you do it. It's super simple. Just make sure you don't get any of it on your horns. Don't when you're putting it in, don't splash it on there. And if you do, just get an air hose, blow it off or damp it off. Let's see if we have any. It's not good lighting there. Let's turn it a little bit. Not too bad, but no, I shouldn't have messed with it. I had it in a good spot. See, still not touching. Still not touching. Okay, well guys, if you guys want to follow me on social media, it's at Jager Evinger for Instagram, and the same thing with Facebook. I stick to Instagram quite a bit. You guys can see the finished result there. Maybe I'll do a finished product review as well. We're going to go out this weekend for our late season here in Washington. See if my dad and brother can get their deer, and that'd be a good example to put that one next to one that uses the volume 40 bleach. Appreciate it, fellas. Please like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to start doing a lot more informational stuff. I'm not really too big on, I'm going to get some cool stuff. I'm more willing to help you guys out be successful, because I get more pleasure out of that. Hearing everybody's cool success stories and seeing reactions is just a different thing for me. Stay tuned, fellas. I'm going to start rolling out a lot more here. Little brother's got his own channel, so maybe we'll have a little competition and see who can get going the fastest. Alright, thanks guys. Stay tuned.